Many organizations have directories to store employee and member information, and the Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, or LDAP, is a standard that provides access to the information in a directory over a network. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to use Scribe's LDAP connector to access directory information from within a map. We'll start by installing the connector in the marketplace. Next, I'll create a connection to the directory. You can use the Scribe LDAP connector for many different reasons, such as enriching data in another database or application. In this case, I'll use the LDAP connector to clean up some data quality problems I have in a marketing database. I have some missing email addresses, so I will fill them in with information from the directory. I'll create a map that will go through the leads in my marketing system looking for any that lack an email address. When it finds one, we'll look it up in the directory. If there's a match, we'll update the record in the marketing system. So first I need to create a new solution. I'll give it a name and add an integration map. Give it a name. Then I'll add my connections for the marketing and directory. Then I'll build the skeleton of my map before adding any details. So I've got a query block, a for each result block. I'll add an if block, a lookup, and an update. Now let's go back to that query block. Here I'm going to get the customers from the marketing system. And then for each one that comes back, I'm going to use an if block to test whether there's an email address on it or not. So I need to add a condition to test that. And I'm going to look at the email fields in the record that I brought back and test to see whether it's null or not. If that result comes back as true, I know that there's an email address is missing from that record. In which case I'll need to do a lookup in the directory to try to find that. So I'll need to add some lookup criteria here so I can find the right record. And the field that I'm looking in is called CN in the directory. And I'll have to use a formula to put the first name and last name that I have in my marketing system together because it's all one name in the directory. And then I need to see which fields I'm going to bring back. I'll bring that name field back as well as the directory field that has the email address in it. Now let's look at the update. I'm going to update the record in the marketing system. Again, I need matching criteria. And this time I'm going to use the ID field because that will give me, with certainty, the right record, even if there are people that have the same name. And I'll add the ID of the record that we started with to make sure that we're updating the right one. And then I just need to do some field mapping. I'll auto-link everything except for the email fields. And then for the email field, I'm going to put in the result of the lookup block that had that email address in this last field here. And that's it for my map. And before I run it, I want to show you the data in the marketing system. And you'll notice that most of the records that I have an email address. But when you look at the list here, the last one in the list is missing an email address. And so that's what I want to fix by running this map. So let's run it and see what happens. All right, so the map is finished, and now we can go and look back in the marketing system to see whether the problem was fixed. Here's the data. And if we look at that last record, you see that the email address is now there. So the map worked as we expected it to. In this video, I showed you how to install the LDAP connector in your Scribe Online organization, create a connection, and use the connection in a map. Thanks for watching.